Redefining desire. Song Weilong's striking Vogue Man March cover sparks a new era of masculinity. Welcome to Sohu Media, where stories of style, stardom, and subtle transformation come alive in ways that feel both intimate and unforgettable. There are moments in a celebrity's career that feel less like a photo shoot and more like a quiet declaration. The March 2026 cover of Vogue Man, featuring Song Weilong, is exactly that kind of moment. Measured, deliberate, and unexpectedly powerful. Arriving just days before his 27th birthday on March 25th, this cover doesn't shout for attention. Instead, it pulls you in slowly, confidently, like a glance you can't quite look away from. At first glance, the styling seems deceptively simple. A clean white t-shirt from Gucci's Fall-Winter 2026 collection hugs his frame, paired with slick-back, wet-look hair. But simplicity here is not a lack of effort, it's precision. The interplay of black and white lighting sharpens every contour of his face, every line of his shoulders and arms, revealing a kind of restrained intensity. Water droplet elements subtly amplify the visual narrative, suggesting a tension that feels both controlled and untamed. It's this contrast between restraint and rawness that defines the concept often described as sexual tension, not in an obvious or exaggerated way, but in something quieter, more psychological. You're not just looking at a man styled for a magazine. You're witnessing an exploration of masculinity stripped down to its essentials. No heavy accessories, no visual noise, just presence. Behind this striking visual is a team that clearly understood the assignment. Photographer Zhang Linghe uses light and shadow almost like sculpting tools, allowing natural textures, skin, muscle, expression to become the focal point. Stylist Yuxi leans into minimalism, reinforcing the idea that the body is the language. It's a concept that might sound abstract, but here it feels tangible. And perhaps that's what makes this cover so significant. It marks Song Weilong's first appearance on Vogue Man, but more importantly, it signals a shift. This isn't just another idol photo shoot. It's a repositioning. The public response was immediate and intense. Online discussions surged, with keywords like wet hairstyle and sexual tension ceiling quickly trending across platforms. Some netizens humorously compared the experience of seeing his visuals to watching others eat bland food every day, only to suddenly be served a grand imperial feast. It's dramatic, yes, but also telling. There's a sense that something about this image feels elevated. Sales numbers only reinforce that impression. Within just 10 minutes of release, the magazine reportedly sold over 10,000 copies, generating around 500,000 renminbi in revenue. Limited editions, especially those bundled with exclusive instant cameras, became instant collector's items, framed not just as merchandise, but as meaningful birthday gifts from fans. The fashion industry, too, responded with enthusiasm. Critics praised the cover for extracting powerful allure from the simplest elements, a reminder that true style doesn't rely on excess. Interestingly, the same issue also featured figures like Olympic championing Zhong Yan and Formula One driver Charles Leclerc, broadening the conversation around masculinity. Strength, discipline, elegance, different forms, same core idea. But beyond the surface, there's a deeper story unfolding, one of personal evolution. For those who remember his earlier image, particularly during projects like Seven Hearts, the emphasis was often on youthful charm. Soft edges, approachable visuals, a kind of boyish appeal. This new cover, however, feels different. More grounded, more self-aware. That shift isn't accidental. Song Weilong began training in martial arts at the age of 9, building a foundation of physical discipline that now quietly informs his posture and presence. Add to that a focused muscle-building routine in recent years, and you start to see how this transformation took shape, not overnight but through consistent effort. In interviews, he has openly reflected on his early insecurities. Being labeled as a rigidly handsome guy might sound flattering, but it came with its own limitations. There's a subtle frustration in being seen only one way. Now, He approaches such labels with a calmer perspective, choosing to understand himself and be understood from multiple angles. That mindset aligns perfectly with the cover's theme, redefining masculine charm. Not rejecting past perceptions, but expanding beyond them. And then there's the timing. 3 major magazine covers in just the first quarter of 2026. Another Man, January and February, and Element Thailand, March, all linked with Gucci. That's not coincidence, it's momentum. A clear indication that his influence in the fashion world is no longer regional. It's becoming global. Fans, as always, have played their part in amplifying this moment. Birthday celebrations have taken on an almost cinematic scale. Aurora-themed posters lighting up Moscow, massive screens in London's Leicester Square, even custom boarding passes appearing at Shanghai Hangzhou Airport. These gestures go beyond fandom. They're acts of connection, weaving a shared narrative between artist and audience. And maybe that's the real takeaway here. Because beneath the styling, the sales figures, and the industry praise, there's a simple question worth asking. What does it mean to grow up in the public eye and still manage to redefine yourself? For Song Weilong, this cover doesn't provide a final answer. Instead, it opens a new chapter, one that feels more honest, more layered, and perhaps a little more daring. Is this the moment he fully steps out of the idol label and into something more enduring? Or is it just the beginning of another transformation we haven't fully seen yet? Either way, one thing is clear. The conversation has started, and people are paying attention. As always, if you're drawn to stories like this, where fashion meets identity and images carry meaning beyond the surface, don't forget to subscribe to the Sohu Media YouTube channel. Stay with us for more insights, more moments, and more stories that make you look twice and think a little deeper.